Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of In the Kitchen. As always, I'm Alonsio with
Taylor here. Yay.
I forgot his name for a second. I didn't. I just lost my train of thought. But, hey,
That's me.
Great. Welcome back. Happy holidays. I got this shirt for Christmas. We're a day past Christmas while we're filming this. But and Christmas came early for us Cowboy fans. They linked up. They locked up the 4 seed and the NFC East championship.
So they're in the playoffs
with the win against the Bucks. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about a little bit of who they might play in the playoffs or who they will play in the playoffs. We got a great game this week with the Colts and the Tennessee Titans. Winner gets in. And we got a little surprise upset that we're going to talk about at the end of the show right before we go. But let's get started with the Dallas.
Cowboys. So they're coming in the number 4 seed in the playoffs, right?
Yep. Can't get any better or worse. So.
Nope. The only thing of it is, and that's at home, right? When they play that game, will that be at home or that will be okay? So that, and who are they predicted to play on their first?
So
first game?
right now Dallas is still going to play Seattle Seahawks. Like let me tell you, the only thing about the Seattle Seahawks is Russell Wilson is for real, y'all. He lost his entire defense that helped him win a championship his sophomore year. And they went back to the Super Bowl his third year in the NFL, lost to the Patriots. But he did his job and scored. But never mind. I got that wrong. But they were at the goal line. All you had to do was give it to Marshawn Lynch, Russell, or Coach Pete Carroll, whoever his fault it was. But the point is, this guy has a resume, and it stands out most than current quarterbacks.
And Dallas I think they've lost against the Seahawks, right?
So, even though, to my point, he's lost his defense, he's still a big threat. He's only gotten better. Since then, like it may not seem because I think they missed playoffs once since then, but they're in it again, guys. Like they're in the playoffs again. Russell Wilson doing it all by himself. Like he's got a little bit of a running game. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know their tight end's name. Doug Baldwin's the only receiver I know from them. Their defense, who's there?
Stat-wise, they're lined up with Dallas. They're both 9-6.
Both 9-6.
Seahawks are right up under the Rams.
They're most likely going to end up 10-6 each because Seahawks got Cardinals, Cowboys got Giants. But either way, it doesn't really matter for them. They're both in the playoffs already. If anything, I think they're.
And we've got a good streak at home. So we're like what 71,
and
72,
and that's
something?
the good thing
at home.
that the Cowboys do have going for them.
Not so good on the road.
They are 7-1 at home, and they have a pretty good offensive performances at home. One of them being that 40-7. Win against the Jaguars.
Plus, I know a couple weeks ago, Cowboys had like the number 1 red zone defense. So,
they have one of the best red zone defenses because of all the lack of touchdowns they commit. But let's move on to the Colts and Tennessee Titans. That is a little bit more juicy coming up for Week 17. I know Week 17 usually is a lot of meaningless games. Teams that are not in the playoffs playing each other, and you got teams that have already wrapped up their divisions for the last couple weeks. They have their top their first 2 seeds wrapped up as well. But
they're
in
neck
this
and neck
case
right
now, in this particular case, things have not been settled.
No.
And it all depends on what these two teams do.
They're basically neck and neck. You could basically say they're tied for second
because I'm not sure
under Houston.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Houston owns the tiebreaker between both of these, but I do believe if Houston loses and one of them wins, I think depending on who wins, Colts or Titans, one of them ends up above Houston. Houston drops all the way to the 5th seed. But Houston, though, can get all the way to the 2nd seed with the win and a Patriots loss. But that's another story. But Tennessee, Have you been keeping up with?
I haven't really been getting up with neither of these two teams. I know that the Colts are on a huge win streak right now, from what you've told me, and man, that was. I've still got a nasty taste in my mouth from our loss to the Colts.
Yes, and that's part of that win streak.
So, and I actually sat down and watched that whole game, and I wanted to vomit. So no, not really. I don't know a whole lot about either one of these teams. I know Titans got a pretty solid running game.
Well, let me tell you my opinion on this. I think the Colts are going to win this game and go into the playoffs. The reason being because the Tennessee Titans have been inconsistent this year. They've been more good than bad, but they've been inconsistently good. A lot of people that aren't Cowboys fans, such as us, feel that way about the Cowboys as well. But it's kind of hard to argue that when they've only lost back-to-back games one time this year, and they did go on a 5-game win streak. The Cowboys beat. But then you have the Tennessee Titans over here that win a couple games and then lose a couple games, and then win a couple more games and then lose maybe 1 or 2 games, and then they win like maybe another 3 games. And that's a little bit too inconsistent with when you compare it to the other teams, as such as let's go with the Texans, 9-game win streak. Let's go with the Saints, 10-game win streak. Even the Colts, they won 5 in or what are they right now? I think they won 7 of 8. In their last 8 games. It's like there's got to be some sort of consistency. And I feel the Colts and Andrew Luck and that offense have more consistency than Mariota and that offense. But that's my opinion on that. Colts take it. They get in the playoffs. And if the Texans lose, let me see what you got the playoff seedings there.
I've got all the standings here. So we got Saints up in the top of theirs, Bears in the top of theirs, 11-4. Like, wow, I didn't know the Bears were. I know the Bears are.
So if things stand
Rams,
as they are today, next week, which means Texans win, and Texans get the 3rd seed and Colts get the 6th seed, they will play each other in the wild card weekend. Now that will be a tough, tough for them, but great game for us. Because they split this season's divisional games. They're 1-1, and that would be the tiebreaker. And guess what? It's the playoffs, win or go home. So that would be a great matchup to see. But we'll see what Houston does. You got any more things on that?
I don't really. I mean, I did notice that over there in Saints Town, NFC South, the Falcons and the Panthers are almost kind of like the equivalent for that division. Neither one of those teams, I think, got a shot at it. But that still might, if those two could potentially have something going on there too, if one of them loses or wins a game.
Well, they're actually, all these 3 teams are out of the playoffs. So Panthers play the Saints, but that's sort of another meaningless game because the Saints already locked the number 1 seed. Yeah. So they can literally have 2 bye weeks.
But they're basically almost, you could say, tied for 2nd in their division as well for the most part. Even though they're out, they're done.
The only other teams that are in the playoffs right now, besides all the division leaders, are the Seahawks and the Vikings. Yeah. And the only way the Eagles get in is if the Vikings lose and the Eagles win. So there you have it with that.
What's going on with the Chiefs and Chargers, man? Because they're like neck and neck too.
They're neck and neck, but guess what? They play each other this week.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
they do? Oh, that's going to be a big game
Click
too. And the Chiefs lost to the Chargers by 1 point.
Lying. They play the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Depending on what happens here this last week, so the Chiefs can go from, I guess, the 2nd seed to. Oh no, they can't. So it just depending on what they go from the division winner. Either way, they both locked up a playoff spot. They're both in the playoffs. They might play each other again in the playoffs. Most likely they will.
Awesome. So to bounce over, that upset NBA a couple games ago for a certain team. They pulled a little bit of a miracle. Yeah. I think.
It ain't no Miami miracle against the Patriots, but we had the Phoenix Suns beat Boston Celtics.
Beat Boston like 3 games ago.
Yeah, it was a
like,
couple games
to-
before
like,
Christmas, but yeah, that was a
whoa.
huge upset. I didn't know
Huge.
about it till
I told him like because the Suns the last time I checked were like only had like 4 or 5 wins, and Boston's sitting over there, almost got a split, win loss. And they lose to the Suns. It's like what?
I mean, but Boston did have a great win against. What was it? Overtime against the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh
on
yes,
Christmas,
yes, yeah. You told me about.
Yesterday,
I think
yeah.
yes.
We're
Yeah, that was
26.
yesterday.
Yeah, Christmas.
So they went in overtime.
Yeah, they went in overtime, and Kyrie Irving, I think, had like 41 points, and he was able to get them over, and they won. They won that game. But hey, guys, thanks for watching
thanks
once
for watching.
again. That does it for us here today. I'm gonna let Taylor lead you guys out.
So be sure like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. It really does matter for us and everything. You can follow us on Facebook at RedTwit2, and then we have our own personal Twitter at 1in_th3_kitchen. And we'll catch you next time.
Laters.
Later.